When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.
Peace, family. Dr. Dennis Assault Winkler back at you again. Black Box Radio, Doc in the Box. Peace and blessings, family. Thanks for coming out. Please share this because it's going to be a nice, beautiful nice exchange between me and Queen of B. So again, like, share, subscribe. Queen, what you got for the people?
What's up, people? Just thinking about and having prayers for the people in the bridge collapse in Baltimore, that tragedy, the accident, just holding space for them and their families and Baltimore as we go through this incident. But other than that, I'm doing pretty well. Excited for Black Men versus Black Women Part 2. Let's get it.
Black Men versus Black Woman Part 2. What would you say? Did we actually get into a versus on Part 1?
We did. We just dropped a lot of stuff. We just dropped a lot of stuff. You know, we didn't really get into anything.
Yeah, you know, your look as you on the camera over there, you kind of look like Sheila Dixon when the person when the brother was, they say the brother was throwing stuff at her and she was on the camera trying to act like she wasn't distracted. Oh man, it was getting rough. You gotta take care of that business. That's fine. I was like saying to Sheila, just tell people I need to take a break. You know, we real out here. We got to take care of business. You understand? We got family. We got loved ones that we have to attend to. We have all those type of things going on in real life America. So one thing I like to say on Black Box Radio and especially Doc in the Box, we just keep it real. You know, like, look, I need to take a break to take care of some business. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, Sheila, you talking about Black Men versus Black Women. I felt so...
That was it. He was throwing stuff at her. I'm like, no. Well, full disclosure, people, that's my mother, and so mother. Hey mom. Mothers are magic, and so that was my mother telling me about the remote as I'm on live.
You gotta take care of mom and the remote. You know, look. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it funky. Mom didn't put in her time, so we gotta take care of mom.
Absolutely. Yeah. No one's throwing nothing at me. This is not a SP moment.
Your eyes was looking like Sheila a little bit. It was like, I'm not like really making fun of Sheila, but it was. You know, I'm really making fun of you because I know that's not the case, right? I know what's going on, but it just the fact that she didn't get off the camera. I mean, like, Sheila, just say I need to take a break. I have something going on.
My mom come back. I'm going to get off camera for a second.
Okay,
yeah. That's on her way.
Okay. But nonetheless, Sister Queen spoke about the tragedy that took place in Baltimore before we get into the conversation around Black men and Black women. Because that's a tragedy in of its own. But really, what took place in Baltimore with that bridge collapsing after the boat hit it. That was really something, and I think it's touching people. Actually, I woke up yesterday to a text message from one of my colleagues at the university that I teach at, and she was saying she was just hoping and praying that that my family and I were okay. Interestingly enough, this is not New for me since I've been working at this institution because it's closer to Pittsburgh, and the shooting in Brooklyn, the mass shooting in Brooklyn, Maryland, the mass shooting at Morgan State, and maybe something else I can't recall, and now this. So Baltimore has been dealing with some things.
Baltimore's busy, bro.
Yeah. So
Baltimore is real busy. This one has epic proportions of actually the nation. The amount of goods that come through Baltimore, come through those borders are very
yeah.
valuable. The car parts that come and cars that come into Baltimore. Baltimore is the third largest port. So we're talking about something that is definitely it's going to have economic implications. Um, it's going to take them a while to clean up such a huge, you know, incident. This bridge is at least 40 years old, 30 years old, at least 30. So this is a lot of steel in the water. So and the goods that is on that ship alone, we talk about 95,000 pounds. We don't know how heavy that is. That's heavy, bro. So that's a lot of implications economically, moving goods around this country. Baltimore is a very important port. And but more than anything right now, the construction workers that were from out of this country, from other parts that are in that water, we hold space for their families.
Yes.
We pray that by God's grace they're still alive. It's going to be hard after 2 days in water, but we pray for them, and we hope they have two, and six are still missing. I think two have been found, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna be more in this in South Carolina, so I left on Sunday.
Oh.
And this happened the next day, so unbelievable.
Yeah, I was like thinking I was preparing myself for your other setup, and then I said
I want a bird with the word.
you back down south, right?
Yeah, I'm on a bird.
You didn't even come. You didn't even come and see me though.
Right, it's a week. I got to get it all in.
I mean, hold up. I'm not important enough. I mean, this that black man versus black woman. She's had to hold me accountable. And everything. Y'all, look, people, I'm not going to tell you about the offline conversations, but you know,
you special, but I had to get it in and get out. You know?
Oh, I ain't that special then. Okay.
Yeah, mention them.
Well, look, I saw brother John Logic. He treated me well. You know, he had to get in and get out, but he made sure that he visited me, and I visited him as well.
I love that. He pulled up. Real talk. I come pull up. I'll get you next time for sure.
Okay. Think about the little people. Think about.
But let's jump in, Ja. Let's jump in. Let's jump into the debate.
The debate?
Yeah, black men versus black women, part 1.
Okay, well,
you say there wasn't a part. This is not 2.
No, I mean, no, I'm saying this is part 2. But what's going on out there in these black men versus black women streets?
There's a lot going on in the black men versus black men. Well, you know what? I think a lot of times we put it in color because we're black, but I think the dating scene per se.
I mean, this is Black Box Radio. That's why I'm putting it in black.
Yeah, we definitely black up here. The dating scene, because there's a lot of black folks dating out of their race.
Don't give us all that black and try to take it back.
No, because some of the sisters are dating out of their race, and they feel like they're going through it with other men also.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying more than anything. You know, black men always dated out of their race, but the sisters are more because of the stock, and they're complaining about the same types of behavior. So when I say that, it's still black centered, but you know, I know the sisters are, you know, they spreading the love too, bro.
J58, greetings.
Peace and love.
All right, so what's popping, Queen? Look, you the one with the. You gotta bring all the stuff.
Let's go.
Wait. Look, you want me to bring it? Look, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in these streets. I've been married since I was 2.
Ooh.
No, I'm just messing around. I got a lot of people I work with though.
Let's talk about some security out here. Let's bring that up. Let's talk about that a little, and then we're gonna kind of move on that. Let's bring that up, Ja. Security. So we're going to talk a little bit about being secure in relationships a little.
So you got a clip on.
I got a clip. I'm waiting on our marvelous producer to throw it on the screen so the folks can see it.
Okay, security in relationships, you say.
Yeah, that's what the joint is about.
Okay.
Anyway, We'll wait. We'll move on. So listen. Okay. So chick got some advice to all women. So hit that play. Let's hear that.
Don't get in a relationship. Go be a fucking hoe. Let me tell you how when I was a hoe, I never had to go days without dick ever. I always had something on standby. Now I'm in a relationship. I can't even get a good pumping. I don't even be trying to do it every day. Maybe every 2 days. Maybe every 3 days. If that. Sometimes I go 4 days. I should never have to go more than 2 days without dick if I'm in a relationship and we're living in the same house. That shit is so stupid. And yes, I'm very much crying. You know what I mean? Because I'm pissed. I don't want to be in a relationship no more. I want to go home. I miss the old days where I could just call somebody up and they just pull up and just do whatever I wanted them to. Now I got to go in here with this fat fucker and watch him cry about catching a cramp because of the position I want to do. The fuck?
Wow.
Giving these women limp-ass penis. Take this herb for
All
a
right,
rock
now,
hard.
cut that. All right, so what you got? Oh my goodness. So she said, don't get in a relationship. When you get in a relationship, you don't get no date. So is that Lord, what is going on out here in the dating scene? This is what the sister said. What you think about that?
Well, my
That's
first thought is that real? Like, is this clip? Do you buy this as being a real clip or something to get views on social media?
Well, I've been in relationships, and I think when you are in a relationship, as sex sometimes is not as important because you're building other things. You're working, you have an outside life, so you might not pursue it as much. I think if the person isn't in the house with you, I think you get a little comfortable. I've been married, so you get a little comfortable with your mate, and you might not have sex all the time. And she sounded like she want to hit it every day, and she's not getting it at home. And don't get in a relationship because her relationship is about getting that dick. That's what it sounds to me.
Yeah, I mean, I can go so many places on this clip, and I mean, this is not foreign to me, right? He says she want that D backwash in her.
That's it.
58. What does that mean? Help me out. The
backwash.
Yeah, the backwash.
That's that nut.
Oh, okay. So she wanted in her, and so yeah. When I look at this, I look at it again. Just think about it. She said that she's used to being a hoe.
Well, she was getting it all the time. Hoeing means that you're getting knocked down all the time. So she wants sex every day, daily.
But she said she was a hoe, right?
She said she want to go back to hoeing.
Okay, so if hoeing, hoes hoe, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you help me out. I'm trying to figure out. You know something I don't know. So
people hoe and they don't particularly are hoe. At that moment, they might be doing a little hoe stroll. So the hoe stroll, bro.
So I feel like there's some trauma there again. Like, I mean, and then she's like in a relationship, and she's like, I feel like she has a hypersexual sex drive. And I think that comes from a place. So I feel like she has to heal. I think she has to do some work. Because she's not like she's saying something like, okay, I have to wait 3 months. I have to wait a month. I have to wait a week even. She's saying, I have to wait 1 day, 2 days. I got to wait more than 2 days. I should never have to wait more than 2 days. I mean, that brother probably got a job or something.
Because they live in the same house. That's what she's saying. Yeah.
Oh, they live in the same house. I mean, this is a lot of just assumptions on my part. But I feel like for her to even get on this camera, there has to be some trauma. That like what is she trying to get? Therapy on the camera? What is she doing?
Listen, I don't know. It sounds to me that she has a high sex drive. She's hypersexual.
Okay.
So that's why she was hoeing. And now she's in a relationship what she thinks she's supposed to be doing, but then she's not getting the sex that she wants, so she wants to go back and hoe.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it.
Okay. That's what it sounds like.
What you got though? Anything different?
I'm saying that I understand what she's saying, but I don't validate that type of behavior. I think that it's a little dangerous. being hoeing or being promiscuous, as Jay says.
Mm-hmm.
J58 says, I think that's, and it's very irresponsible, but I think that's what's important to her. I think in relationships, people go in relationships, and some people just want a lot of companionship. They want to snuggle, they want somebody to be with them, and they want to have sex. Some people are just really want to have a lot of sex. And when they first got with the person, they was getting hit down all the time, because that's what you do in the beginning stage. You like rabbits, you hit. But then when real life hits you and you got to work and you got to, you building towards something, every day ain't about sex. And I don't think she can stop. She's saying that's what she wants. And now she got to go in this room with this big, she called him a fat guy. And he going to get a cramp because she can't give it to her like she wanted. That's
so she sound like her drug of choice is not coming through.
Yeah, her drug of choice is penis for sure.
Yeah. I feel sorry for. I pray for the sister.
Okay, well, John Logic said something. He said, "I think it's a joke, based on the fact that men will slow down when we settle down."
I think it's a joke based on the fact that men will slow down when we settle down. What does that mean?
Well, when you marry, then it's not about hitting all the time. You're a family man, men, you settle down. Is that what I think? That's what y'all saying. That's what I get from it.
I mean, I often hear it the other way, where men are frustrated because they're not getting enough sex, even the married ones.
Well, he says, I think it's a joke based on the fact that men will slow down when they settle down. That's what he said. That's a bar.
I mean, I guess this kind of depends. It's kind of so vague that I'm not sure how long she was in a relationship. I'm not sure how old she is. I'm not sure of much, right? But when I think about what Jai is saying, men will slow down, but that's not like what she's saying, though. He slowed down.
Yes. So that's that's exactly what she's saying. That's why she's going back to hoeing. And I think there's something virtually crazy about that you have someone at home and you rather hoe just because of sex.
Okay, yeah.
That of all of the things that you're not saying that the guy's hitting you. You're not saying that. And your problem is he's not giving you dick every night. I think that's really shallow. It's carnal, and she's living in her low space.
Do you think there should be a limit though? Like some type of standard. She should have some type of standard of getting penis.
I think the standard is who you go in a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? So if you go in a relationship with someone from the door and it wasn't hit all the time and they had other things going on and they building and they talking to you about building, then that's the type of man you would. If you're a man that put you up on a chandelier and throw you across to the room and put dick in your eardrum, well, that's the type of man he is. You deal with who you get.
So what if he's still doing all that, but instead of doing it every day 3 times a day, now he's doing it every 2 days?
She don't like that. Evidently, she's addicted to the process of having sex. She's addicted to that.
I mean, because I'm saying that because sometimes people might go from, let's say she's saying every day, which sounds like a lot for most people who have jobs and things of that nature. But it's not uncommon that I hear at least some people say, very similar to her, come into my counseling room and say, I don't have sex. He's not having sex with me. We're not having sex and this and that. And then I say, so how often do you have sex? And they say, well, we only have sex maybe 4 to 5 times a week. And then there's some who come in and say, well, we're not having sex like we used to. I'm only having sex once a week. And then some who say once a month. And then there's like both people who say, look, once a month is plenty for me. I'm good. So I'm just saying, like, it's very case by case basis for people. But what I do realize is people who struggle or who have struggled and probably still struggling with some level of trauma, that it can make them asexual to a degree, and it can also make them hypersexual. So I don't know what else to say about her. I would definitely love to have her on if she wants to come on, because I think
you want to really peel the layers back. J58, he triggered. Jay said, "Listen, You said no rolls, just hoes.
I don't know what Jay is talking about.
Jay,
What is Jay talking? Come on, give Jay that link. You know what I mean? Because I look. I think I think I'm a little. What do you say? Josh says elaborate on that, Doc. Elaborate on what?
Well, I know what. Jay dropped a lot of stuff. He said, "Don't she could get him some Viagra pills, some Blue Man Chew." And she said all she wanted to talk about is getting on to the next man. So really, in all actuality, I think she's a hoe. Let's
hold up. She a hoe now. You was fight.
I want to go back to hoeing, bro.
I know, but when I was saying it earlier, you was acting like no. She just said she was hoeing. She's not a hoe. You were protected.
No, you said, is she hoe? I said some women are hoes and some women.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that this chick is just this. What she is. She hoes. She just want a lot of sex, and it's all. But don't get in a relationship with someone who's responsible and wants to do something else. And I'm not saying that if you do want a lot of sex, you're irresponsible. I do think that you have to know your mate. And Jay said always been one, so she always been a hoe.
Well, and I get to the point where even hoe. I get it. Like, I don't want to label her as a hoe, right? But I get that. I get that thought. But I also get looking at it on a more deeper level that there's some unhealed trauma here. Mm-hmm. That trauma, which will have her even again crying out on video, right? Yeah. And if that's real, I think Logic asked for me to speak more to that. Those who become more asexual and those who become more hypersexual. Yeah, so many people, as a result of their trauma, and specifically sexual trauma, they may become hypersexual. Mm-hmm. And also, those who experience some level of sexual trauma may become more asexual. And both are ways to cope with that trauma.
Can you define asexual and hypersexual so the folks will know?
So asexual would be like some people really don't need sex at all. And I think a lot of that happens in our community and we don't understand. And a lot of women, like, they struggle with their sexuality even due to this. And not even that they had to deal with a sexual trauma directly. Just being in America causes trauma to women and their comfortability of being sexual beings. Mm. So some women don't even connect with themselves, their bodies, and even explore themselves in a way to know themselves, to even enjoy sex to the degree that they could if the society hasn't already traumatized their view of sex. Because sex in America to women, especially up to this point in time, and still to some degree, has been a dirty thing. And if you even think about it, black women were used as sexual beings where white women were seen as pure, and we will starve them of sex. Because pure women are not supposed to have sex, so we're going to have sex with these less than pure women, African women. And I'm of course I'm not agreeing with that. I'm saying this is the type of trauma that this society causes on women who haven't even been sexually violated maybe by another, but has been sexually violated by the society that they belong to.
Ooh. Ashe. Woo. All right, so let's flip it a little. Let's get the guy. Yeah, that's straight bars right there, John. I gotta believe. Let's get the guy to talk about what he do. He's a freak. Let's get the freak up there because men got the freak on too, And so I think we're in a freaky type situation. So let's put that up there. We talked about a young lady who's hypersexual and putting it out there on social.
But again,
young man Demir, brother Ja.
Is he hypersexual as well?
We about to put his freaky up there. Put it up there and let the people see, brother Ja. So.
All right, so I'll get to that point later that I was going to make.
You got what about?
No, it just sounds like, oh Lord.
He says, "I eat pussy, suck toes, leave hickeys, and eat booty. What am I?" This is on. Come on now. This is what people are writing. Grown folk.
Well, it's not the problem that he does any of that. The problem is, why are you posting it?
Ah,
You know, like I mean, I think some would argue, some of my strong African descendant brothers and sisters, or certain brothers and sisters from the Caribbean, they'll say they don't do any of those things, right?
right.
And that is against the culture. I get that, understand that, but okay, you do that now. Why are you posting it? Is the question to me.
Ooh, Jay said a Neanderthal. So,
I'm trying to figure who.
what that mean, Jay?
Jay calling him white.
I know Jay.
He's
called him a white
he's
man.
huh?
He called him white. I don't think he think that's what he's saying.
No, I mean, I think that's what he's saying. What certain segments of our population call white people Neanderthals. So I think he's saying they're subscribing to Eurocentric culture, and that's what I was. That's what I was implying when I said that certain African Senate, Black Power, Caribbean cultures, and some of the circles that we fall in, they literally. I was in prison, and they were saying all the same things. So yeah, so because these are the cultural understandings that African people, Black people, in our essence, do not do some of these things, especially the fellatio, and I forgot what they call it for women do it for. Yeah, because we're getting back to our more pure selves, our African selves. So there's argument in the communities that Black African people never exhibited these behaviors until we became Eurocentrized.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's major. It's a major thing. But like now, getting back to this other side of the coin is the hypersexuality. Lots of times, and the asexuality, both of them are ways of trying to adapt, right? So the hypersexuality is trying to fulfill something that is not there. It's trying to help me feel good. That's a saying I always say, right? Make me feel good, like Halle Berry, right? Make me feel good. I got so much pain. Make me feel good because this takes me away from all the things that I'm not trying to deal with. And also because I've been violated so young, I've become sexualized. If I've been violated so young, I was sexualized, and that is what made me important or whatever. It's just so many different reasons why a person would do it. Because I was just talking in a group the other day that many people, even if they've been violated, lots of times sex, even with the person that violated them, it's a very perplexing thing, because on one hand, I feel like I shouldn't have done this or I shouldn't do this, but on the other hand, it may feel good. So it kind of mixes people up. And there becomes an addiction to sex when I've utilized it so young. Even if I wasn't having sex with another person, lots of people begin to masturbate very young. And I mean, when I say young, I'm talking about like when I was young, everybody had sex and they was 5. Everybody was lying besides me. I just was quiet, right? Now, some people literally was doing things.
Like 5?
Like people at 5 was saying, I'm not a virgin. This was very common growing up in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, 5. And they had little sex toys and everything that you would see, the little magazines and all those different things. What I'm saying is some people actually were just rubbing pants, but some people actually were violated. And some people would rub pants because they were violated, and then they would, do other hump with other people. Yeah, but they were lots of time exposed to something so early that was so significant in their life, so from an early age that became so meaningful that it leads to one being hyperly sexual.
You said he started at 13, but 5, yeah.
But 13 even, right? I think that's at 13 you were laughed at if you were a virgin. I was a virgin, okay? Just for disclosure. But many people were lying, right? Many people were lying and saying they were not a virgin. That's what I come to find out now. But at the same time, there are those who were or saw things that they were not supposed to see, or piqued this curiosity early on, which creates this hypersexuality and to some degree this type of escape Because sometimes if I was neglected by my mom or neglected by my father, this was my way of escaping that hurt and pain. I didn't, I wasn't using crack. I wasn't using drugs. I wasn't smoking weed at 12 and 9 and 8. But I did get to gratify myself, and that becomes addictive.
Wow. What if it isn't an act? Are we living in a society that invokes this type of sexuality, this type of sexual concentration? Because I think not only are I don't think everyone is being exposed per se or sexualized, or are we I think we're in a sexual kind of environment.
Well, I think that you didn't have to take back what you just said, because you're saying not everybody's being sexualized. When we're living in a sexual environment, we're being sexualized. You're just suggesting if one directly was violated, but when you have when you have
word, I meant violate.
Yeah,
so if one wasn't violated, can it just be society? Because Brother Josh said that his friend teased him until he got some. And so why are you teasing at 11 and 12 about getting some Gucci?
Again, that's still a violation. Again, I know I'm looking at it a different way, and I might, but I understand what you're saying, but I'm still calling that a violation. The fact that we don't even see that as a violation is a part of the issue, right? Because why is a 12-year-old and 11-year-old so exposed to these type of things? And then looking at it in magazines during our time, they had, y'all remember those little sex toys that used to go like this, and all these little different things, which now create certain types of interests. I mean, I'm talking to you about what people tell me about in my counseling room. I'm sharing with you that they feel like they were violated, not necessarily that anyone touched them. Even if they saw their mother or their father committing certain acts, or they found their mother and father supply of sex tapes, or whatever it is that they saw at that young age, they at this point tell me they don't even feel pure anymore. They feel like they shouldn't have never come across any of that material. And since then, it has peaked a hypersexualness in them.
Okay. At my age, it was a Playboy. Your
age, your age or your age.
Well, that's fine for men. Playboy was an important book.
No, I'm saying at your age, during your age, like your time frame in the world, or you saying during the
frame? Yeah, because it wasn't it was no social media or anything. It was magazines. It was, it was porn. But porn is super big now, and it's digital. It's all over the place. Porn is regular.
And that's a major issue as well.
Okay, but Playboy was the thing, the bunnies.
Well, it's really a issue today, because what we're dealing with is young men who cannot perform, even because the level of the ease of looking at porn on social media allows them not to just look at one clip. It allows them to swipe through so many different levels of intensified versions of booty that now the real thing can't get them going.
Ooh.
Literally. And so now they cannot perform with a person.
Wow.
Because there's this simulated version of what a woman is that they can only get to now if they masturbate off of this porn that excites them to a certain degree that now a regular woman can't get them there.
Wow, that's something. So porn is now a violator.
No, I mean, it's probably always been a violator. I mean, just because you looked at it doesn't mean it wasn't violating. You understand? So, I mean, some people make it past it. Some people don't, you know.
Yeah, but Josh said Twitter, aka X, has legit porn on there.
I mean, you know what's interesting? I'm so removed. I'm so removed from so many different things consciously that when I went back and I started looking at music videos, and I saw if I see a music video come, I'm like, whoa, now I see why people can't stay faithful, because it keeps you excited all day long. Like who wants to listen to this stuff all day and look at that all day? And you looking at this stuff all day and listening to it all day, it's keeping you, for lack of a better term, horny.
Yeah.
You know, you probably got all, like, for men, I'm sorry for saying it like this way, it's probably, you probably all got all types of semen stains in your drawers. But because you've been aroused, unaroused, aroused, unaroused, aroused.
We walk around squishy.
Tell me about the women.
We walk around squishy and drawers sticking. You know, it's all, everybody got juices flowing. Too many juices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, full disclosure, I remember at work in a hospital, the ladies walking around with vibrators, you know, the little toys, going in the bathroom. They need a break.
Who you disclosing, for yourself or for them?
No, I'm just saying, I
I'm
mean that at my job. I'm serious.
Hey, you said full disclosure. Women, we walking around. We walking around with I'm messing with you.
They walk around with toys. I mean, I think our sexual prowess is a part of the problem. Our carnality and how it's so expressed. And now we see in music and how it's more expressed in the way we dress and the way we're presenting ourselves. It's keeping us from our greatness and what we could be on a higher level.
What are you calling carnality?
Huh?
What are you calling carnality?
Well, I would say this hyper focus on sexual music, things, acts, like porn. I mean, even social media, everything has a sexual movement.
Right.
Go ahead.
Because one of the things I'm thinking, like, sex in itself is not carnal, right?
No.
But I'm assuming
before
that
the sex, the music, the video, the way the way women are sometimes presenting themselves, all of the things that get you to sex. We see it, we're being bombarded.
So that's carnal
to me,
and intentional.
And intentional, very.
Why do you think they're doing that?
I think that's a trauma-based thing too. I think a lot of it starts in trauma, not in self-esteem and not being good enough. I think it's very important for Black women and Black girls to be affirmed early, because our self-esteem, we get attacked for our regular features, from lips to hips, and we need to be affirmed early by our families, by our dads, by our uncles, because they come for us early and we don't know how to handle it, and it breaks our self-esteem very early, because as a young girl, you're growing pains, you go through something, and now we're having growing pains and being pregnant, because they're getting pregnant so early, because they're having sex so early, because of all of this is affirmation. I think that they're not getting early, and everything is sped up because of the digital streets we in. That's my mindset.
Yeah, I think that there's a mix of all of that, right? I think to some degree, on one hand, the society is hiding sex, or trying to hide sex, and make it dirty, which makes it more enticing, which also then creates black markets and people being compelled to look for these type of things as well. I don't think we've really have real good conversations around sex, and I think that many times I'm not even sure what too early, like what some of us call sex too early. What we call too early, I don't even know if it's really too early or if it's the way that society has structured itself. And sometimes it's definitely too early because people haven't even developed. I'm talking about not even to their period, or I'm not even sure how some people are getting erections at that point.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things that lead to us developing early, even that we can probably even look at. I think there's a what's her name, Stephanie Patton, who writes books on corporal punishment, and she speaks about corporal punishment, how that also in of itself in our community we should really be cautious, and really she suggests that we do not spank our children, because it in fact becomes a sexual act. That hitting someone below on their bottom is actually sexually pleasing, and that it
Wow.
literally stimulates certain areas of the body that we have to really consider when we're spanking our children.
Whoa.
And she has research and all types of things to kind of support that. And that's why when you also think about a lot of people who are really, use the word kinky, they want to get spanked and things like that.
Ah.
So at least that's the connection I'm making from what she's saying. I'm not sure if she said that part, but that's how I connected it, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and she and
Yeah.
she and she may actually say that. But when we're looking at it like that, like, we have to look at what we're doing and what we have to do to stop, to kind of put a pause to this epidemic. And just, so some things are too early, and I think that's traumatizing. Why are people developing quicker? What are we eating?
Food.
What are we doing to our children to speed that process up? And another thing I think she speaks to is this, that when, like, the body knows that it needs to mature quicker when it's going through certain levels of trauma,
Whoa.
because the body says, I'm not going to be here long.
Ah.
So now I have to speed up the process, right? And this is all coming out now. So I think this is really important.
This is
So
serious.
now the body has to speed up its reproduction process so that it can now, kind of, what is it called? The evolutionary process wants us to survive,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Acclimate to survival. Like,
Right.
I can't stay here long. That is
The
serious.
body speeds up its process for it can do what it's supposed to do, and that's to have progeny, to leave a legacy, biologically. So I think we have to really look at all these things, and we have to have really deep conversations about these things. And then on top of that, look at how society creates these conditions that bring out these things. And
Yeah.
that's why we say, well, look how fast that young girl's progressing. Look at how her hot ass, her little, all these type of things. And not really look at how society and how society and even us as parents
A
and
trip.
family members are really triggering these things.
That is big. I never. It's very. I mean, Brother Josh says deep. Jay says being mindful of what we're consuming mentally and physically. That's so
Hmm.
true. What you just said kind of made a whole new conversation, because that is like amazing. Like, your body knows to activate, and because progeny, got to leave something here. So let's get it going.
Hmm.
And you particularly don't know that's happening, but then we see the behaviors from it. We see the
Hmm.
fast girls, the developed girls,
Hmm.
or even the young men who are having sex all the time.
Right.
You know,
And
they're
I'll be
going through the whole school.
right.
That, oh, wow. So I think we got to talk about sex a little. I mean, relationships is
Hmm.
beautiful, but how we're relating, I think more than anything, we relate first in the sexually. We see people, but immediately we're looking at, are they sexy, are they cute, and I think it all equates to sex. Am I wrong?
Well, it depends, because we have various types of relationships. I'm not sure if I think about that when I see a family member or
No,
someone I'm trying to
I mean when you're in a proud African.
when you're in a proud.
Yeah, when you're in
Okay.
a host role. I mean, when you're out and about and you're single and you're
But
looking.
I
You're,
don't think. Well, again, I don't know if that. I guess we can say it all started with some type of sex, right? And that's why we're here.
yeah, absolutely.
But on the other hand, I think a lot of us are on the host role because of some unmet relationship or some unmet needs during our early rearing or upbringing. And that was
Mm,
relational, not necessarily sexually relational, but relational, right?
you should know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, heavy, 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 heavy. I've never heard that about beating, getting spankings on the butt, the many that I've gotten. There's many
Mm-hmm.
spankings that, it kind of can, put you in a state of arousal that you don't even know.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. All
Because the
right.
body has nerve endings and all types
Everywhere.
of things, and yeah, so we have to really look at how the body and how everything is connected. And I think again that takes me to another argument that I often find in our community, and is this idea that academics are not important, right? I wouldn't know that type of information if Dr. Stephanie Patton had not done the research. And I think sometimes we really need to, those who really dedicate their lives to us on different levels, whatever level that is, we at least hear them out a bit. Not that they have all the answers, but I'll be honest with you. And the reason why I'm wrestling with this idea is that I hear people often say, like those who really go to school and dedicate their time many times, it's like, oh no, they can't, like it's like this easy thing. Well, they don't know everything. We need regular people to teach this, and this is what people say. I'm not saying this, or I'm just saying what people say. Yeah. But then you would never ask the academic to get up and be the poet. You would never ask an academic to be the rapper, right? But then somehow we have to replace academics who dedicated their lives to that art to now make way for those who, somehow, whatever. And I'm not saying that everybody can't learn from everybody, because I know that's the truth. But what I'm saying is I think sometimes we have to deal with that trauma as well. And because I've been sharing with people about what Dr. Patton's work, and they just like, I don't, nah, and then they go and find somebody else that has not done any research, that doesn't have, besides what mama said or mama did and the good old days and all that type of thing. What he said, scholar.
Scholars are dope.
Oh, scholars are dope. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I think a lot of times also that's the social engineering that we see in society with this Hollywood joint. Like giving these, putting these people on pedestals, and we kind of deflect or get away from our scholars or from our PhDs or folks who've done the work or put the time in. And, we love the TIs, and I'm calling names. We love the rappers who's out here dropping jewels. And I'm not saying they're not dropping jewels. What I'm saying is we still have their rappers or their hip hop artists, and then we also have scholars. And I think that we have to give scholars their space, because that's important to us as a community. Killer Mike, all them big.
And I'm not even talking about just the famous ones. I'm talking about just everybody. It's like it's easier for us to talk about.
I'm not talking about when it comes.
Yeah. I'm saying just in general. Lots of times we just like everybody has a say, and like for example, like I could be talking to somebody about like it's really interesting. Like I dedicated I hear what Dr. Clark says. I done dedicated my entire adult life to this, and somehow you think it's like somewhere along the line you think that you're going to really school me or something. And I'm not saying that you can't teach me something that I don't know, because that's a fact. Because I don't know everything. But somehow that you think that you're going to go to a person who's a physician or something, and now you read a Google article, and maybe he didn't or she didn't know about that Google article. So, yeah, bring it to him, but I'm going to say you don't know what to do with that Google article, although that person never seen it, as good as they know how to do with it. So,
Jay said there's people that love reading, and there's people that just like the pictures.
What he said, tittles or titles? What's that, Jay?
Is that titties? what is that, John?
What's tittles, man? Hold up, but what did Jay say? There's people that love reading. There's people that just like pictures.
There's people that just like pictures.
Yeah, but even the readers, like. There's a difference between just reading. Like, you can read about the medical sciences, the social sciences, the behavioral sciences all day, but there's a major difference than someone who's been trained and also have our people at heart.
Absolutely.
But then, and I'm not saying that you can't get something from somebody. Again, everybody can bring something. But the problem is, I understand that. But what people don't often do is say, well, I can also get something from the scholar.
Yeah. That's it. That's why you here, Dr. Dow. You here with the scholar.
Not the scholar, but
Well, yeah, I mean, because that was so important with this series is to have someone who's researched, who has some skin in the game,
some experience, right?
some experience. Because I'm gonna talk all day, real talk. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna throw some stuff out,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's very important that we don't just talk. That we have someone who actually has done the research, who can actually interpret stuff. Because I'm like Jay said, there's people that love reading. I read all the time. And I might be the one who just like the pictures.
Well, and then is the other thing where everybody like let's go a little deeper, like mental health, right? Like mental health is this thing like everybody's a mental health expert now, right? Like
Real talk.
everybody used to be a medical expert and they went to a weekend course on herbalism and now they know everything. But then hey Queen said that's me, but hey, hey, but now everybody looked at all these YouTube videos and Instagram clips, and now they know how to diagnose everybody. They everybody's narcissistic and everybody's and now they know more than the person who really studies and dedicates their life to these things. And doesn't mean you don't know that you know something that I don't know. Let's get that twisted. You probably know plenty of stuff that I don't know, but there's a difference in how you read that information sometimes, for the most part, and how I can read that information. It's like when I'm really trying to put this in here real good. Like again, one of my brothers has a barbershop here. And he likes to tell people, like, there's a difference between barbers and hair cutters. Let me give you an idea. He says barbers go through the process. They get their license. They do all this. But at the same time, he also says barbers are counselors and barbers are this and that. And so but then he won't really listen to a real counselor himself sometimes. So I'm like, hold up. So barbers can say, I'm this, I got a license, but let somebody with a quote unquote a degree say they got something, and everybody's coming for them. Nobody's coming for the street. If the street guy says, look, I got this, I read this, they can be as cocky as they want to be. And what I mean by that, I don't know, I'm taking it off a little bit, but I'm just trying to make a point. That the person that never went to school can say anything they want to say, as wild as it can be, but let somebody come in who has gone to school and say, well, no, let's think about this little thing. Oh, now you an elitist. No, I just have an opinion, and I just happen to also have a degree. Not that the degree makes everything. You understand? But anyway, we got to get over that trauma too.
Yeah, we do. The mental health thing is big in our community, and all this whole community. But
hold up. You see what
I see sisters on IG claiming to be mental health professionals, selling therapy and selling their OnlyFans on the same.
That's what I'm talking about. That's real deal Holyfield. You understand?
Why, John?
No, that's real. You know, I mean, like, I'm healed. Let me help heal you. And you're looking like, oh my God, you can't, you just can't tell them like, oh man, you need a little bit more time. And then what they doing, they'll come in a circle like the ones I hold back here. Excuse me. And then if I say something, they don't agree with it, and now they want to fuss. People are more likely gravitate towards them if they don't already know, if you haven't gained trust with them, because we like stuff like that. And people who have those OnlyFans, those healing pages, they anti-established, they anti-everything. I'm anti-establishment as well. But what I'm saying is I'm realistic. And some of the things and ideas that we be having, they be wild and fangled.
Well, people feel if they went through the path that they can teach the path.
And you brought it back to the point I was trying to get to. Thank you. People say it all the time. If you haven't gone through it, you can't help me.
You better know it.
And I say, look, especially in the mental health realm. Okay, so if a surgeon never got a heart transplant, but you got a heart transplant, am I now supposed to trust you over the surgeon who gave you the heart transplant?
Ooh. See, why you gotta be so literal?
So, well, I'm very literal because now I'm saying now because we don't always see mental health as being as important
Yeah, that's
because
true.
we've bought into Eurocentric notions of mental health, then
Yep.
we'll act like the person who really studies these things. We'll pick homegirl who went and got some Florida water. I mean, some or did something over the weekend. Something like that. Yeah.
That's true. I mean, that's when people say you have to, you got to be shot before you know how it feels to be shot, and that's true.
No,
But
that's
I
not.
ain't
But
gonna
that's
be
not. But
shocked.
that's not necessarily even necessary. That's my argument. I think
That's what I'm saying.
it's not because why do I have to get shot? Maybe I didn't get shot, but maybe I got stabbed, and maybe I understand pain even though it wasn't that pain,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm telling you, we stepped out of a relationship, but listen,
These are relationships, by the way,
these are relationships.
not black men versus black women. But let's get back into the black men and black women.
Yeah. We gonna end it with that. But listen, that was listen. Respect the scholars. Scholars are dope, y'all. Listen, I won't hear that again. Our scholars are dope.
Oh Jesus, 857.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we done rolled up. So last one, we're gonna let's do risky. Being single is boring. Let's talk about that. Good. I want to end it on that. Being single is boring, dating is stressful, and hoeing is risky. What should I do?
Okay, being single is boring, dating is stressful, and hoeing is risky. What should I do?
And we talked about the hoeing. So, hoeing is risky, but there's a lot of people hoeing out here. So, what should you do?
Work on yourself.
Ooh.
I mean, that's the only thing I can say. Why are you single? Ask yourself why you're single and stop blaming on everybody else.
Well, let me clutch my pearls.
No, but pardon. But that's the truth. Like we do really good jobs of explaining why and what people did to us, but we don't do really good jobs in saying how did I contribute and how did I sign and co-sign and sign up and miss all the red flags and what and even more than that, what was I getting out of it? Because many times we are getting something out of these toxic relationships, but we won't really we won't admit it.
Depends on the gender. That's what Jay said.
It depends on the gender.
I guess with the singleness.
I don't know. I think I'll give
I think
both.
he's saying maybe men, if they're single, it's not them. If women are single, when we crazy.
Well, I think if the gender said that very statement, then I wouldn't say it doesn't matter because that sounds like a person who wants to be in a relationship and who's struggling to be in a relationship. So that person right there needs to work on themselves to be prepared to be in a relationship. Because lots of times we're not in relationships because we don't know how to choose healthy people. Two, we don't know how to be in a relationship with a healthy person.
Or we're not healthy ourselves.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how to be in a relationship with a healthy person. So hence we're not healthy and we continuously point the finger because we find healthy people boring, especially when we've been through levels of trauma. And then we get into these transactional. I'm not trying to put my feelings into it and all this and all that. And then, then you get tired of that. And so what I'm saying is we have to work on ourselves because it's hard to be out of a relationship. It takes a lot of hard work to be in one.
Yeah.
But lots of times we just want things to be easy and we want peace. But it's just not that,
Well, I don't know. We live in a society where sex can kill you. And so the hoeing is risky. Single, like you said, check yourself because, that might be you a little. You got some responsibility in that. But dating is stressful. Huh. So how do you get from single if you don't date? I don't understand.
Well, okay, you're looking at this thing literally. I assume.
I mean, because when I'm looking at that, I'm like, hoeing is it's risky, dating is stressful, and single is boring. So what are we gonna do?
Okay, let me read this. Being single is boring, is stressful, and hoeing. Okay, so being single is boring.
Dating.
Okay. Dating is stressful and hoeing is risky.
What should I do?
Learn how to date.
Ooh.
Work on yourself. Because the thing is, we don't want to deal with no stress. And anytime you combine yourself with another person, it's going to take some level of learning how to couple with that person. And lots of times we're too self-centered to do so. And I'm not saying there's not any reasons why we are self-centered, but the fact is we want things the way we want them. We want things to be perfect. Again, as I said on the last show, lots of times we're delusional. We're in fairy tale land. Hence, we you know, the relationship don't last. We got to become more realistic and deal with our traumas.
Listen, this is I need you guys to like, share, subscribe. This is Doc in the Box. We're here every second and fourth Wednesday. So we back on in a week and a half. So hit us up. We out here, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Hit us up on YouTube. Black Box Radio. Stay in the Facebook jail. So hit us up on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, holla at us. We out. Deuces.
Peace.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. 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 My name is DOC.
Genesis Wing Club.
DOC.
Genesis Wing Club.
DOC. Allow me to reintroduce myself. DOC.
Genesis Wing Club.
DOC.
Genesis Wing Club.
DOC. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Allow me to reintroduce myself. Allow me to reintroduce myself. DOC. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is DOC. DOC.
Genesis Wing Club.
DOC. DOC.
Genesis Wing Club.
DOC.
Genesis Wing Club.
DOC.
Genesis Wing Club.
DOC. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Genesis Wing Club. Back at you again.